It's 10:54 on the 10th of October 2023, and I'm uploading and updating my documentary with regard to the inefficiency and incompetency of individuals perpetuating the cycle of financial corruption and false reporting and defamation of my good name, all in the cause of the deadly sins. Those that are covetous and of greed and of awful malice with devious and deceitful behaviour are displaying awful character defects that I have a huge concern for when they impact the standards of professionalism that are expected in any democracy of this day and age. So the inaction and the attitude of burying our heads in the sand when we feel uncomfortable about paying our debts is highly irresponsible. So I'm really curious what the opinion of the World Bank, IMF and the ECB is with regard to all the health and wealth recovery as a consequence of me, and yet more problems being caused from the circumstances originally giving rise to Brexit and COVID. It's quite audacious, impetuous, and downright rude to manipulate or edit the actualities and the realities of a person's credentials and professional standards. So those people that are disrespecting that are disrespecting the success and safety of Brexit and COVID. So those that are of retaliatory crimes without reparations that are due to my name are really not setting a good example for children. Taking a child from a mother is quite dangerous, especially when there are no legalities in place and especially when there's no cause. So I hope that people aren't being blinded by their greed and their bad behaviour offending Brexit and COVID that came from my humanitarian endeavours. The corruption is inexcusable and the retaliation against corruption is unsafe. So as a mental health practitioner, I have huge concerns for people that are burying their head in the sand and not addressing their dues and debts and obligations. So this is in the interest of democracy and best practice, and those that can't display or have the courage to do what's right, unfortunately, are a disappointment to evolution, progress, you know. So as I've mentioned to the IMF in these uploads, for your interests only, there is monetary corruption continuing from the southwest of Ireland by people that have been of defame, damages, debt and disrespect from my experiences. They are obvious and evident, and I have a child that's absent from my care. So these are all very dangerous matters, and it's not making the world safe. So this issue's been exacerbated. People are using my name without my consent, and they're incriminating themselves in a predicament that doesn't make people safe. So those that are putting society at risk by breaking the law, offending the law, you know, offending progress, all the legislation, the social reform that's come from me and my experiences, strengths and hopes as a practitioner of advocacy and recovery, all the health and wealth and the circulation of stolen wealth from my name and my entitlements is quite unsafe to be transacting with. So those that are of slander and defamation might be careful about the crime prior to Brexit and my role in crime prevention. Those people that are of retaliatory, exacerbatory, slander, defamation, debts unmet to my name, all of those crimes, even the bunch of keys, the simple situation of keys not located from 18 Rock Street and my personal belongings of my child and I still an issue that isn't resolved. So that's quite serious when there has been an official report lodged about my experiences regarding theft and fraud. So I'm just curious, is my crime prevention that gave rise to Brexit and COVID being offended with crime that's not really safe for people's lives? That's a sad sign of the times. So I'm really curious about everybody's intelligence, well, the culprit's intelligence, social intelligence, emotional intelligence regarding what's wrong and right. So this is for the interests of Europe, I'm of Royal Protocol, and unfortunately, in the southwest of Ireland, where people are living off my wealth and the legislation and social reform that came from me, there is still more corruption continuing and no lessons learned. And my son still hasn't been located. So, unfortunately, people are entitling themselves to matters they have no entitlement to. There have been culprits of offenders that have caused disrespect and damages, and those are not excusable. When there is no sense or logic, it's just irrational. It's ASBO. So I hope those of zero tolerance aren't supporting ASBO and putting society at risk. It's really serious. So hopefully those in a position to do so will address the deaths and damages issue that is surrounding my case of crime and crime prevention that gave rise to Brexit and COVID. And any more crimes that I experience, unfortunately, are going to be jeopardising the safety and success of all developments arising from my credentials and qualifications. So I hope we're learning lessons since 2005. This is going on a long time, and I'm still waiting, and there are still efforts to cause more problems and to escalate more disrespect and damages and defaming and debt. I can't reiterate enough how dangerous it is that I still have a tooth that hasn't been treated properly because of people causing debts and damages to the Hippocratic Oath because of their deadly sins. And that's an issue as well that I'm raising for the attention of the Vatican Church. So Italy, I hope you're aware of what I'm experiencing and how sinister and unsafe it is for success to be disrespected that has saved people's lives. There has been health and wealth recovery as a consequence of me. That's my job. I'm a humanitarian, and I'm an educator, and I'm a mental health practitioner as well as an artist. But the point of the matter being is there's a regression, and it's of people that haven't got the caliber, quality, or consideration or courtesy. It's really serious, and they're obstructing, and that's not helping. That's not helping progress. So unfortunately, I'd say Darwin is a little bit disappointed with the lack of evolutionary progress of human behavior. So this is just an update. I'm still awaiting. My contact details are on my Twitter page. I don't condone prostitution. I'm a married mother, and those matters are not subject to legal change. Those that are conducting fraud against my birth and my marital and my child and his birth, any alteration to church records, and that is also a very serious issue for people trespassing on my farmland and entering into my home in Tubbard Hill. So I hope the authorities are on the right side of the law, and I hope there aren't people being naive with regard to the sinister nature of the situation. Health and wealth recovery of 2019 is at risk. So how does everybody feel about the world being made unsafe by people that can't behave and honour their debts? It's all about cash, and it's really not safe for people to support any more corruption that I had to address on my own between 2017 and 2019 that I had been tolerating since 2005. So I hope my message is getting through. My details are on the page, and I've contacted the Ombudsman for Children with regard to my